Welcome back to the Conscious Salon podcast. I'm very excited because we have someone very special in the studio with us today. She was the kid who said she always wanted to be a rich and famous hairdresser with a purple Lamborghini. You don't scream purple Lamborghini.
I know, like purple's not the colour I would have gone
It's
with.
changed now, guys. It's changed now.
She was obsessed with hair from primary school days, on the salon floor at 14, qualifying just before 18. So she learnt the craft fast and business the hard way. At school, they teased her nickname and accidentally named her future brand. NEIKE was born long before the sign went up. By 22, she opened her salon doors in Melbourne, NEIKE Hair, which is so wild that you opened when you were 22 because we opened when we were 21 and 23 and I thought that was young.
Oh my God, I love that.
6 years into her business journey and only 8 months ago, she nearly walked away from it all. Burnout, doubt, the belief that her business could never run without her in it. She stepped into Becoming a Conscious Salon, our 6-month program, where she rebuilt her standards, her systems, values, and her leadership. Now the salon feels stable, inspiring, and alive, and so does she. Today we get the real story behind the brand, the grit, the growth, and the girl who said it out loud before anyone believed it. Please welcome our incredible client, Dom.
Thanks, guys. That was so
Dominique.
beautiful. Thank you. My heart is pounding.
I was going to say, how do you feel hearing that? It's pretty incredible.
It is. It's beautiful. Thank you. It's nice to reflect back on it, I think. You forget how much has happened. And I think as the goalpost moves, it's just like a nice little reminder of where you did start and just to be really proud of where you are today.
Absolutely.
So thank you. That was beautiful.
So special. Hey, I think that's something we talk about often after we read that. Like, we call this the eulogy piece. This is always the real celebration of the path that's behind you and how easy it is, especially as entrepreneurs and like, you know, high evolving women who are constantly like looking for that next thing, actually having that moment of like, fuck, I've done all this and like I have created this amazing brand that I fully embody. But even with that, your story with 8 months ago, things were looking very different for you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited that we get to sit down and like have you in here. So excited this morning, weren't we?
Thanks for having me.
So Dom, 22 and opening a salon.
Yep.
Can we talk about how the fuck you did that?
Yeah. So, I mean, it started really small in the sense that like the space I accidentally came across, actually. So I was at a salon and I left there and I started just doing some hair from home and then I was booked out in like 6 months and realized I needed to finally take the leap and open the salon. Working from home was never part of the goal, but I did it as a little bit of a stepping stone. And I came across this shop. My dad always supported my dreams, always. But first thing he said when we walked into our shop at the moment is it's way too big. There is no way you can take your clients from a tiny little home salon to this big space. Like it's just not going to happen. They're not going to feel comfortable. And of course, my husband backed him on that. So naturally, I like to go against the grain.
I was going to say the boy said no and Dom said watch me.
I was like, that's it. So I've got a video of that. I refused to listen. I was like, this is it. I've got a big dream. I want this space. It felt right. And that was it. So ended up going ahead. But obviously I did it really slow. So I actually think we've got 12 stations now. I don't even know.
It was
Maybe even
so
13.
weird seeing the video the other day with only like 4 stations in
Yes,
it.
and that's it.
It was
That's
wild, yeah.
So we started with 4 stations and the 2 basins and then slowly started adding a little bit more as we started to grow. But I mean, I didn't take out a loan. I did it with my money. I was lucky enough to get gifted 30 grand from my parents. That was a loan to pay back.
Thanks,
so
Mum
that's
and
what I
Dad.
did that with. And I set a time frame. I don't remember how long it was, but I wanted to pay that straight back to them. That's what I did. And then, it was incredible. It was really surreal too though. But I feel like so many people told me it wasn't possible. I was like, that's it. Thanks so much. You've given me so much ammunition to get this goal.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it.
You are someone that's really determined like that. Like when someone says you can't, it's like you really are like, I'm going to use this as my fuel.
Yeah.
Which I resonate with that. I love it. As soon as people say you can't do that, I'm like, watch me do it now.
Yeah, bring it on.
But that can be such it's not even, and I think when it's done in the right way, because I know that your intent wasn't like, fuck you, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to get you to see that I can do this incredible feat and this incredible thing that you have done.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting. I feel like so many of the women that we sit with have that sort of a fuel behind them of sitting and having that, like, it was almost like I was told I can't, so I did.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's truly who I know you to be, is someone that will always defy the odds and be able to like that goal that you're setting yourself, you'll not only hit it, but you'll surpass it as well, which is amazing.
Thank you.
So
It can be really interesting what comes up for us, like with our parents as well. It's no secret, and we share this often in our containers, that our dad begged us not to open our salon the night before we opened.
Yeah.
So we'd done the fit out, we'd had the opening party, and he was
I was
like,
sharpening the scissors to cut the ribbon.
he was like, I don't think you should do this. And now we look at that and you know, again, it was motivation for us, but it just came back to his fear. And he would have been an amazing entrepreneur.
Yeah.
He would have been an incredible business owner, but he just never had the courage to do it. And when he saw us with courage, and I think there is something, you can probably attest to this, being 22 when you opened, there would have been a part of you that didn't have the risk assessment that you have now.
Oh, for
so
sure.
it allows you to be like, yeah, I can open a salon.
Absolutely.
What
Totally.
could go wrong?
Yeah,
the invincibility
exactly.
sort of thing.
Yeah. And I had the energy.
Mm.
So, but similar thing, my dad would have been an amazing entrepreneur, and he's got the belief, but he, you know, came here from Italy like at 8 years old. So he didn't have the skills. Like he didn't know how to read and write in English or Italian. Still doesn't, you know, at 67. So similar thing where it was, you know, I mean, it was my mum who always said, like, still, even like a couple of months ago, she was like, just shut it. Go work from your house. Like, it's going to be all right. I'm like, that's not the goal. Whereas my dad will back me, and he's very much like, you can do it. It's going to be okay. But there are those kind of limiting beliefs that he's got too. But if you guys never did it, you wouldn't have gone through the things that you did, and I would have never found you. And I probably would have tried to get rid of it. Like I tried 8 months ago, you know.
Let's talk through your journey. So talk us through, like you opened it at 22.
Yep.
Talk us through
So
how that
22, I was the only one. I didn't like open with staff or anything like that. I went straight in, and I remember people coming in off the street excited that there was a new salon. They wanted an appointment. We opened in October, at the end of October, and we were booked out for Christmas.
Wow.
And the feedback from the neighborhood was like, what do you mean? You're booked out. I was like, yeah, sorry. We're by appointment only.
I'm actually quite good.
This is it. I was like, So I realized really quickly that I did need to hire. And of course, I went along and did that without having any setup of like zero or anything. So there was a moment where I was doing everything manually by hand. And I learned how quickly I needed to appreciate the apps and all of the, you know, amazing facilities, not facilities, all the amazing
Resources.
yes, thank you. Resources that we've got. So that was good. And then we were open for about 1.5 years, I think. And then the pandemic hit. And that was fun. That was so fun.
So did you have team at that point?
I
or-
did. I
Yeah.
had a couple of my team members. So I think that there was the 3 of us, which eventually ended up being 5 of us by the time the pandemic ended. But we would come in, like we had that government support, which we were really lucky for. And my accountant at the time, she had
Well, you would have just gotten in for that.
literally, so I'd started, she had put me on the books to pay myself. I think it was like 3 weeks before the pandemic, like something ridiculous. So had that not had happened, like I was
Yeah.
building a house, we were getting married, there was so much going on. Had I not have done that, my life would look really different. So I'm really grateful for that. But I mean, the pandemic, like with all the government support, we were coming in and we were just like spending 3 hours a day as a team in the salon, doing whatever we could do. And then we managed to just flip it and kind of go, we can't do hair, let's sell tint kits and our online store. We built our online store out, and that was incredible. I could not believe the support from our community. So that was really beautiful. And it gave us a bit of purpose and a bit of direction through the pandemic to just kind of keep us going through each day and not fall too far into that slump, you know? So
But you really had to think, like we did the same. You had to think creatively when you were like, especially for industries like ours where we are client facing, we need to be like, you know, we were restricted a lot. And
sure.
even like Nikki was a beauty therapist at the time. You were restricted even further because that went to a whole new level again.
yeah.
You had to think creatively. And I think a lot of really saw hairdressers really thrive because that's what we're really good at, thinking creatively, thinking outside the box, thinking differently, and finding a way to still keep that connection, because connection's such a big part of what we need to do as well, having that team together, having that like purpose, intention. So a real credit to you, especially starting so early. And I mean, we had a few notches under our belt prior to
It's,
that,
I'm,
so I feel like
I'm
you've
even
done a
just
really
thinking
great
about
job.
being that young and trying to lead a
Yeah.
team
Oh
at
my
the time, like,
goodness.
and not having a business partner. We
Sure.
had each other, but
Yeah.
not having a business partner
Yeah.
is, that's
Massive.
hectic.
And being the booked out hairdresser, like that's what I thought success was.
Totally.
Having a salon and being back to back with clients. And we crammed everybody in because we were so scared we were going to close again. And then remember, I also have the bridal element. So that was really fun, navigating bridal. And it was
just
like
a different level of anxiety.
It was, but it was fine. Like, because I had the salon and thankfully the government support, everyone got their deposits back if they hadn't rescheduled a date or whatever. They decided to get married, just the two of them or whatever it needed to be. So I felt really grateful to be in the position that I was to be able to do that, because I know it was such a hard time for businesses and I don't blame them for what they did, you know. But navigating a team, like I had no idea what I was doing with that until probably like 5 years into business, I realized that something needed to change.
Wow.
And nothing changes if nothing changes.
Nothing changes, nothing changes.
Right?
Exactly.
Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome.
Yes.
So, it took me a really long time. But after the pandemic, it was like, oh, okay, we've come out of it and now I need to look at things differently, because it was just so go, 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 go. All of a sudden we weren't going back into it and there was no rest and there was no reset. And I started to go, okay, well, I'm just going to crash and burn. And when I end up in hospital and have a mental breakdown, that's when I'll stop. And then everyone was picking me up on that. Like my husband was like, that's not like, no, you can't be doing that. You need to find a different way. So.
Wow. Yeah.
So, Dom, I want to take you back to the start of the year, because you've shared pretty openly on social media and with us that at the start of the year you were done with your salon.
I was done.
And I really want to talk about this because I think a lot of people, like, you know, we had the last few years with the pandemic and then we've come out of that and a lot of people have had time to reassess, and there's a lot of people who are definitely feeling that way at the moment. But I really want to share your story because it's so inspiring.
Thanks. So, I mean, look, last year in December, I had two of my team members quit on the same day, and we're a very open and transparent team, and I try and be that type of leader. So one was a really big shock, the other one wasn't, but one did leave 2 weeks before Christmas. And that just really put a bit of a spanner in the works. And I realized that, you know, I needed to step things up and work out how we were going to pivot and go through this without the team feeling really stressed, because I know they would feel it. So we got through that, thankfully. And then I came Jan and really sat there and worked out my goals and what I wanted. And I was feeling really like inspired, but also probably scared. And I was at that point where I think it's like you've done it for so long. At what point do you realize what you're doing isn't working? And for me, I guess that was February. Like I tried so long for the last 6 years to try and make this business make sense, to try and be the leader that I wanted to be, to try and look after my team the way I wanted to be, to educate them, inspire them, all the rest of them. Admittedly, I think for the first 4 years of NEIKE, we didn't educate any apprentices. Like we expected them to watch us and learn, which was ridiculous. And I wish I could grab that girl and shake her like myself, but that's okay, we learn. And it was just, I was in a position where I just felt like what I wanted was impossible. And I was met with people that also said that it isn't possible. I was met with people, other business owners who have hair salons, that had said like, when you do eventually go and start a family, it will fail because you're not going to be there. And a salon, like you need to be there and you need to be the heart. And you've got to be in it every single day. And you've got to be working and leading your team and showing them how hard it is to be on the salon floor. And I'd done that and it wasn't working. There was barely any profit in the business. Like I was in a position that was comfortable, I suppose, but I wasn't happy with. It wasn't the little primary school-year-old Dom that was like, I want to be a rich and famous hairdresser with a Lamborghini. Like I wasn't going for those goals. I felt really stuck and I didn't know where to go. And I got to the point where I would continuously complain about it. And Daniel was just like, mate, either you work out how to get through this or you shut it. And I remember when he said that, I was so taken back. I was like, shut it. Are you kidding? Like this has been my goal forever. Not getting rid of it, no. And then I really sat there with myself and I'm like, oh, you know what? I think I'm done. I don't think it works because I don't want it to work. Like I can't work out a way. Everyone says it's not possible. Maybe it's actually not possible. Like maybe I just wanted a ridiculously massive dream as a hairdresser and that was it. And then I was very lucky that a girlfriend recommended me you guys. And thanks to you, I'm sitting here now. No, it wasn't. It was my friend Jenna. So she's got a beauty salon. Yeah.
You,
when
Jenna.
she needs to
send
do
her a
this,
bottle of champagne.
Definitely.
Right.
She's a gun.
Yeah, we love.
Wow.
This is it.
So
Huge.
when you say that the business wasn't working, I want you to elaborate. What wasn't working?
I didn't feel like we were making enough money. I'd find my team, like a lot of them I had had for so many years, and they were going on their next steps, I guess, and taking the next steps in their career. And I admired that, not from like a jealousy perspective or a now my business is fucked kind of perspective, but more so from like, fuck, I wish I could do that. Like, I wish I could take the next steps in my career. And I truly felt chained to the door. And I would say that. Like, people would be like, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, I'm tethered to the front of the salon. Like, I'm going to be working. What else do you expect?
There's more clients like
chains
sorry.
walking around the salon. They're loving it. They heard the chains. They know.
Like, literally, that's how I felt.
That is a relatable feeling.
Yeah.
Though. That feeling of like, this is all I do and all I have, and I have to keep going even though I can feel it sucking the life out of me.
And it was, and like, you know, it was, my team could feel it too. And we'd been through so much personal stuff that it was just so hard. And I was like in there and I just felt like I was draining my clients' lives and I was just so negative. And I'm like, mate, this is not you. What are you doing? So I'd realized that. And then obviously I met with someone to work out what I could sell the business for, which was a really like crazy conversation because I was just sitting there like, okay, like talk me through the steps of selling my business. You know, I was like genuinely pretty serious.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what it would look like. I had no idea. I didn't know anyone that had sold a business. So I sat down with them and they gave me some information. And after, like, I basically said to them, like, can I shut it and take my clients? Like, I want to be totally transparent. I was like, well, can my clients follow me? Like, can I work from home for a little bit? Is that what I want to do? If I'm the busy booked out hairdresser, what am I doing with the team? Like, if I'm enjoying doing hair full time and, you know, making money, I'm just going to go back to the floor for myself and just do that and just go, you know, do that for a little bit. And then I can always start a salon again and open it later. And I asked him that and he just goes, no way, you'd never be able to take your clients. You sell your book. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. And I was like, ready to make the call. I was like, that's all I needed to know. There's no way. I'm like, my community, what would happen with them?
Yeah.
What would I do with my community?
Right.
Like, I could never let them go. I knew my team would be okay if push comes to shove. I would look after them, work out a plan. But I was like, so it just didn't align. The second that came out of his mouth, it was like, it just clicked. And I was like, okay, we're definitely not selling the business. You need to find help.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
So then
Oof, I got goosebumps. It's so beautiful.
you joined Becoming Conscious Salon, which is our 6-month program.
Yep.
It was really interesting.
Are you going to talk about, because
Yeah.
I literally remember us DMing, voice noting.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I remember almost being like, girl, like, do this. I've got you. I see you.
Yeah.
We are you.
Yeah.
I actually did not think that you were going to come in.
No.
And it's really funny because we just leave it up to the individual and we say, if it feels aligned, jump in. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily manage those conversations of when we can see people getting in their own way.
Yeah.
You were definitely getting in your own way. And you actually DM'd us and said, hey, I really want to do this. Do you remember what you said? You said,
I'm not good at repeating word for word, so you take it from this one.
you said, what sort of guarantee
Yeah.
can you give me that I'm going to make my investment back
Yeah.
for this program? And do you remember what I said to you?
You get what you put, hold on, you get out what you put in? What did you say?
I said, we don't make any guarantee.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
We will
Yeah.
never make any
Yeah.
guarantee because we can put the exact same format in front of someone who can triple their revenue, who can triple their profit, and we can put the exact same format in front of someone who does nothing and
Yeah.
they'll say it was the worst investment they ever made.
100%. Absolutely.
And to put that in front of someone like you gave you so much fuel. And I said to you on our last backs call in the closing ceremony that you asked for a guarantee and you actually became the guarantee in the program because of how much that fueled you and how hard you worked.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that a little bit later because there'll be a lot of people who will be listening who will be so scared, you know, whether they get mentored with us or by someone else. But I want to talk about your identity and your leadership identity that we have seen transition so much since March. But from your perspective, with all the identity work and the leadership work that we do in Becoming a Conscious Salon, what has been your biggest shift that you're the most proud of?
I think it's more so realizing that I'm more than just a hairdresser. And I always knew that, but I didn't know how to step into that next step, if that makes sense, that next role. So I think it's more, I get stuck now and I like roll around. So I think it's more like I've been such a busy hairdresser for so long that you don't have the clarity to think, the mental capacity to think about the next step. So having all of the tools put in place and like it was so easy to follow because you would tick everything off a list. For my brain, that's amazing. So I really just felt like my team have noticed such a shift because I'm calmer and I'm less frantic and I have a plan in place. But I've also got somebody being like, tapping me on the shoulder, you guys being like, where are you at? How are you tracking? All of that kind of thing. And granted, you don't get that in the 6-month mentorship, but being able to tick it off a list and seeing it. And then the check-ins with you guys were incredible. Having all of the other people in the group there to just kind of like pick you up when you needed it, be able to jump in and talk and go through all of that, I think was really helpful. So I do think that my leadership style has shifted from being this like booked out, try and cram everything in kind of hairdresser to like, hold on, maybe client focused isn't quite the direction I want to head in. And I've now learned that my love and my passion has started moving away from just hair into also looking after my team. And I've seen such a big change in them over the last 6 months. And I'm so grateful to them for that. Like they've really let me, like they've embodied this whole experience, you know, as a team to see your like boss, I think, go through such a big shift and like, you know, kind of lose themselves, because that's what I did at the start of the year, and go into this new groove and be able to like really empower them as well, I think has been incredible. But I just feel so much more kind of sure about where I'm headed. I don't know exactly what that even looks like still. Like if you ask me, I'm like, I don't know. We're going to have to slowly unpack it. But yeah, it just feels like, I feel like I've just gotten started.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've been in this for 7 years. Like this feels like a completely new, not even a new page, it feels like a new book.
It is a really defining moment. I remember that exact feeling when we did our first mentorship, and it was also a group program, and it was, oh God, 1,000 years ago now. But I remember this being like, oh, now I'm a business owner. Like now I'm starting to understand business. Now I'm stepping into CEO. Now I'm stepping into like actually understanding I don't just have a shop with people in it where I cut hair.
Yeah.
I am a salon owner who runs an incredible salon with my partner in crime here. And we are in more of that business aspect now. And not
we
on the
fully
tools.
went like, wow, we're business owners now.
Yeah.
We're not just
and it was such a
hairdressers.
weird moment. I was like, oh, I've always identified as a hairdresser that has a salon.
Yes.
And then suddenly I was the salon owner who had hairdressers in it. And I think that's what I see for you.
Thank you.
And even just the privilege and opportunity that comes with that in terms of being able to completely change someone's perception of the industry. Like we have team that come to us who have had such difficult times in other salons or other workplaces, and then we have the opportunity to help them heal that.
Absolutely.
We've obviously sent team on their way in the early years who are probably having that same conversation saying that they need to be healed from our space. But
likewise.
100%.
But
We live, we learn.
Yeah, it's been really interesting, Dom, for the past 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, however long it's been, watching you fall back in love with your business. It really has been transformative to see.
Might even be like falling in love with your business. It might actually be the first, because I've really seen that even from when we first started. And I remember our conversations of like, I almost feel like the salon was almost your villain for a while. It was like, this is a thing that's keeping me chained, that's keeping me miserable, that's keeping me unhappy. The second that person that you spoke to was like, oh no, if you like are selling this, that's it. It's done. Like you don't get to like take bits. It's like all or nothing.
Yep.
That then made you go, oh fuck, hang on. It's like that awareness of like, am I going to work on this dynamic? Am I going to improve it? Or am I going to be like, okay, cool, that's enough. I'm finished. I want to go and do something else. And I feel with how I hear you speak about NEIKE now and owning a salon, and even the things that we've spoken about in the last few weeks, just little things we're taking note of when you're noticing like, oh, I'm not, as lit up by hair as I once was, or I'm not sure, or I'm really loving, admin, doing like the business side of things, where it can flip supporting the team, mentoring. Oh, sorry, Aiden. Mentoring the team, that can suddenly flip, and you step out of that hairdresser that wants the Lamborghini and the salon owner.
Oh my goodness.
The salon owner who is wanting to have an incredible business that creates impact, that embodies the community. Like it's fucking incredible.
But even like hearing you say that is just a big wow factor, because there were so many people that I would say things to and they'd be like, what you want isn't possible. Look at people who run their own business. Like look at them. If you look at like a shopping strip, right? We're on a bit of a small strip. If you look at our street, everyone that works in there is the owner of the business. And when they step away, it does fall to shit. So it's really rare to find someone who practices what they preach and really empowers that, and then let alone is able to go on and teach it. So I really think that like that conversation, like once I ended that call with the person that I was talking to about, potentially selling the business, once I ended that call and then, my girlfriend recommended you guys, and it was just, it all felt like it started to fall into place. And it wasn't like, okay, shit, how am I going to do it? It's like, you know what? People do it. Look at the actual CEOs of their businesses. Like, and I would feel a little bit silly because I'm like, I'm just a hairdresser, because I was met with that for my whole life.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, how are you going to get this Lamborghini? And I mean, it's not even about the Lamborghini, right? It's the metaphor. It's about like the massive gold that's so scary and sounds fucking ridiculous.
I'm 100% going to make sure that you get it.
Thanks. I'm like, I think I've got a 1/18 scale model. Does that count? It's not purple. It's orange. But my goal is orange now.
Yeah, exactly. It's the goalposts can change. It's fine.
You know what, Dom? We've spoken so much about, especially recently, now that you've become a one-on-one client of ours.
The best decision ever. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being
What a
here.
gift.
Do you know, since you have stepped into one-to-one, we've really talked a lot about which room you belong in.
Yes.
And I know this has come up and you've spoken about this on your social media, but when you were talking before about those conversations that you were having that were really limiting and they weren't expansive conversations, we used to be in that room as well.
Yeah.
So we were in a room where people were like, the industry doesn't make money. You always have to be in the salon. If you step out of the salon, your team will fall to shit. All of those things. And it still comes up even in some really high level rooms that we're in. We'll still hear things like, oh, I have to be in my salon all the time. And we're just like, no, you don't. You don't actually have to do that. There is a different way.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you don't have the evidence to show that that's possible.
Yeah.
And when you're in those rooms, you literally become the environment that you're in.
Yeah.
So you're in those rooms and you go, okay, I believe that to be true because I'm hearing it, I'm collecting that evidence. To pull yourself out of that room and to put yourself in a different room where there may be some evidence, but you haven't actually experienced that yourself is such a courageous thing to do.
Thank you.
And you did that and you realized, oh, I don't belong in this room again.
Yeah.
And then it came up for you recently where you went, oh, I don't know if I belong in this room again.
Definitely not. Yep.
Do you want to share anything on that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, look, I always wanted, like, obviously rich and famous hairdresser, the Lamborghini, right? So I always wanted the bright lights and I wanted to really be somebody in this industry. And I guess I kind of realized I wasn't really heading that way, but I felt like doing things like Fashion Week would get me in those rooms with the right people. So I happily put myself in those rooms, even though it was a nightmare. Like, you'll see that on my social media. But I finally got there recently and I was in this room, and obviously Fashion Week is like such a high-paced, crazy environment. And I kind of walked in and I was instantly like, this doesn't feel right. And I'm such a fast-paced person, and like being European, I feel like it's just like, as an Italian background, it's like, you just like talk. I don't really have
Italian
like,
girls like, yeah, we get it. We
right?
know.
I'm like, I don't think, like, nothing really goes through my brain, right? Whatever comes up, like whatever comes in has already been said.
Great.
So I'm standing in this room, and I'm just like, I feel sick. And I couldn't work out whether it was like social anxiety, whether it was because I didn't know anybody or what was going on. And it wasn't until a couple hours later we were on our meeting and I was like, something's wrong. You guys are like, sit with it. And I'm like, I think I've outgrown it. This was the goal. I loved Fashion Week. Like, I wanted to be there. I remember being a kid and going to a show with my sister and watching it and just like the lights and the models, and it was amazing. I couldn't wait to be backstage. And 9 years ago when I did that, I remember watching the models walk down and come back in, and we were celebrating them and their success on the show, and of course the designers. And I was bawling my eyes out because I was so proud of where I am. And I remember being that like 10-year-old girl at a show with my sister crying about like, one day I wanted to be back there, and I was there and I was really proud. So when I got there a couple of weeks ago, I was like, whoa, this is wrong. Like, I didn't even want to do the hair when I did get the opportunity to. I was happy standing back and observing. And I've realized like, this is really scary. After I think 16 years in the industry,
Wow.
I'm starting to make a big shift.
Wild though, even when we were debriefing it and you sent through that video because you'd set up your tripod and you were like filming yourself shooting content. And you were like, I can't even hide it because you were trying to like force yourself.
How crazy was my face?
Dom was like, really? And I fully credit you for that. Because sometimes you can, if you like really embody that and you can be like, I'm going to shift up my energy. I'm going to like shake it out. You can flip it.
I thought I did flip it.
She sent us a video and it was Dom doing a spin around. And then I think you did like a little cute little bop, like gorgy. But you were like, look at my face, because your body was doing it and you were doing the thing, but your face was just like, this isn't me anymore. This is not lighting me up. Yeah. And it's massive how much that can flip where I think especially, and we talk about this often with our industry being people who take care of others, who like, we're generally people pleasers.
Yep.
It can be such a massive realization, this whole identity of Dom the hairdresser, whereas now I see you starting to step into, Dominique the CEO.
Yes.
It's a massive push-pull.
Yeah.
But just seeing that energetically in your even trying to get yourself into the groove.
Yep.
And your face is like, no.
I couldn't.
No.
And I didn't realize until I looked back, and that's where I sent it to you guys. I was like, I cannot believe it. I felt like I was the same smiling Dom that I was in all the other videos that I had kind of put together, And it wasn't until I really watched that back, and obviously I'd already come up with what I wanted to talk about through it. I created the video after creating, what I was going to say, and I was just shocked. I was sitting on the couch almost in tears because my body realized before I did.
Yeah.
And that's not something I would ever have even picked up on.
Yeah.
I would have just kept going until I had crashed and burned and realized how sad I was.
I think this is the massive thing that we see it so often when we start talking and learning about alignment. The things that don't align the way that they once did, you can't unsee it and you can't fake it anymore.
Exactly.
It's like this thing of just your body starts talking to you.
Amazing, isn't it?
It was so amazing.
Dom, I want to read something that you shared with us before recording with your permission.
Yeah, go for it.
You're like, yeah, okay, what is it? It's just something that I really read and sat with when we received the pre-questionnaire beforehand. And I sat with it and I was like, this is just such a powerful thing. I opened NEIKE at 22 and now sitting here at 29, the salon turned 7 in 2 days. As you know, 8 months ago, I almost gave it all up. I really thought I was going to not cry in this. I was burnt out, questioning everything, and someone told me that the salon would never run without me, that I had chosen the wrong industry if I wanted freedom. And then a friend sent me the Conscious Salon Instagram. It helped me see that what I want is possible, that I can build something stable, inspiring, and successful without losing myself in the process. I know this was meant to be a snapshot here, but I wanted to share the real story because every bit of it has shaped who I am, and I'm so proud of how far I've come.
Thanks.
How does that feel hearing that?
It feels beautiful. Thanks for reading that. It does. It feels really beautiful, but I'm just so grateful that I'm surrounded by the right people, right? And I think there was so much of my life that people would literally look at me with disbelief. I've had people come up to me and be like, I'm so sorry for not believing in you. Like, you actually fucking did it. It's like, guys, at what point did you think I wasn't? But now it's funny because we're in this moment where I've had the salon for 7 years and that was my goal. But now I'm really transitioning and stepping into this new CEO phase that I truly didn't think was fucking possible.
Yes.
And it's so surreal. But I'm also 8 months ago, I was a really struggling business owner who didn't understand. I would look at other people with these salons and these beautiful fit outs. Our industry is so elevated and it makes me so proud. But I'd look at them and go, how the fuck did they afford that? I don't understand. To me, it doesn't make sense. And I'm like, I could never. It's just not doable. And you have all of these limiting beliefs, I guess. And it made it really hard to kind of unpack. And it's like, okay, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And I just feel so kind of sure of the future, if that not kind of sure, definitely sure of the future.
Definitely sure.
But I feel really proud to be here and to have pushed through Feb because it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
And I just think that I was at a point where it was breaking point and you don't realize that you're about to kind of blossom into something new. And this is a new era of you. And if you're surrounded by the right people, you can do it. You can fucking absolutely do it. There's a way. You just got to work it out.
Oh,
It's incredible.
wow.
You know what, Dom? We talk a lot about the fact that our parents were so scared for us to open a business. And we now phrase it as we have an opportunity to show them how differently we can do things. And we were also programmed to believe from a really young age that you have to work extremely hard for success, insanely hard. Hard work is everything and you will not be successful unless you work really hard. So when we decided that we wanted to slow down and do things differently, it was really hard for so many people around us the people whose room we'd been in where they said that's not possible. And then we were like, it is fucking possible and we're going to show you that.
Yeah.
But something that's been really healing on the other side of that has been the fact that we have the privilege of showing people and rewriting their belief system.
And truly you guys have done that. Absolutely. And I'm not joking. If I didn't come across you guys, I don't think I would still be here with the salon at all. And that was the kind of tip of the iceberg, I guess. Like I, you know, like how they always say, like, I don't know, you read inspirational quotes and it's like the second you feel like giving up is when you should stick it out because that's when success will happen, right? And I feel like, I mean, obviously there was a shit ton of hard work that's gone into it and will continue to, but it was like meeting you guys, coming across the Conscious Salon and being in that container and realizing how much I could do and rewriting the story and changing limiting beliefs. And then you just like, you put the effort in and you start seeing the rewards and you're like, oh, hold on. And now I've gone from loving being booked out with hair, which was me in January, which is why I wanted to get rid of the salon because I was enjoying being booked out and busy. But now I'm like, wait a second, hair's fulfilling, sure, but looking after my team and seeing the shift in them, like, fuck, 7 years of NEIKE, we've never been more aligned. And they know everything. They know our break even. They know how much money comes through the door. They know all of it. So it's like, you know, and I remember sharing that with them when we spoke about it. It's like, you're going to feel naked. You're going to feel like you're standing in front of them naked. And they were nervous. Like, they were like, I don't think I want to know this. This makes me feel scary. And I'm like, don't let it feel scary. Like, it's natural for it to feel like that, but it's not going to have, like, you're not going to have the whole pressure on you to make that work. It's my job as your leader to encourage you and inspire you and make that, like, help you hit that target, if that makes sense. And seeing that shift through my team over the last 6, 7, 8 months, far out, incredible. So thank you. I want to clap you guys.
We're clapping you.
No, I want to clap you.
Do you know, Dom, I really do, like, just hearing the way, it makes me really emotional hearing how you speak because I feel like you were really at your end point.
I was done.
And now hearing how motivated, thriving, like, and the transparency that you have, like you really went all in on this and it's come back to you tenfold because you made that decision of like, cool, I'm going to take the things that I'm learning, I'm going to put them into place, I'm going to go all in even when it feels scary and uncomfortable. And what you now have is a incredibly successful business with an incredibly aligned team, with a really happy clientele, and you are able to now show up and do the things that you want to do from the level that you want to be doing. Those chains are broken. Like those chains are gone.
100%. But do you know what else? My clients also have started realizing in a beautiful way. So I feel like I was always met with like, oh, you want to do what? You don't want to do hair. And I'm still like hearing that a little bit, but it's now changed to like, fuck, I can feel it in the salon. Like you can feel the energy shift. And I always thought I was pretty like positive and inspiring, but that wasn't like going anywhere other than me.
Yeah.
I feel like I was pissing my team off with the way I was acting and trying to inspire them because I didn't know. I'd never done leadership training. Started a business at 22 years old after everyone told me no. I had this like, fuck you energy. I was like, you know, I'm going to
like, just do this.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to fucking do it kind of thing. So like when it came to having a team, I thought the way to lead them was to be scary boss that they couldn't come to. And I quickly learned that wasn't the case, thankfully. But I've always been trying to work out what my leadership style is. And thankfully with Backs, I did.
Oh, how cool.
Love it.
I'm like, wow, what a full circle moment. I'm so proud of you, girl.
I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you.
It's so
incredible,
moment.
truly.
This is you.
Thank you.
So beautiful.
I want to wrap on a question.
Yeah.
I want to know what, if you could go back to that moment in February when we were DMing, when you felt shit scared and it was so hard for you to actually step forward and trust that. I want you to go back to that moment. What would you say to yourself?
Honestly, I'd be looking at the people that you're about to invest in, I guess. And I would be like, if they're practicing what they preach, fucking do it. Because at the end of the day, I have seen the way that you two lead your businesses and it's been fucking incredible. And that was always what I wanted. I also am a person who wouldn't listen to myself. I don't like to listen to anybody. So I feel like if I had any advice, I'd be like, fuck you, Dom. I'm not going to listen anyway.
Put it through a like voice altering person so it'll come through with someone else.
But I mean, like, it's like, just keep going, like keep pushing, keep going. You can fucking do it. And if you're looking at people that are practicing what they preach, get it done. Say yes, put yourself in these amazing rooms. They can be so expansive and you'll realize in time.
You're going to inspire so many
Absolutely.
people from this. Like 8 months ago, you were ready to walk away. And, you know, this is not about being mentored or not being mentored. I just want to show people what's possible in 8 months.
Absolutely.
To turn around your mindset and your leadership and your passion for your business is just huge.
Thanks.
You inspire us so much, Dom.
Thanks.
I just think you are truly a woman that says what she means and means what she says, and you get it done. And we're just constantly, as much as you can say that you're inspired by us, we're just as inspired, if not more, with you.
Thanks
you
so
are
much.
fucking amazing.
Thank you.
So
likewise.
Tom, we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
It
It's like a proud mama moment, isn't it?
Nothing is a coincidence. We always say that.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have been blessed with you in our space, and someone like you who does have such an expansive energy and you are such an expander for so many people in the industry with an incredible team, and we just feel so unbelievably grateful for the energy that you bring in, but also the fact that you're a get shit done person.
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't happen all the time. You know, we put something in front of you, you absolutely eat it up and you say, what's next?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
100%.
thank you.
Thank you.
What a gift.
Thanks for giving me all the tools.
We're going to have to do it. I reckon in 6 months we're going to have an update on where Dom's
We
at.
need a part
Let's
2.
do it.
Yeah, part
Let's
two.
do it.
Part 2.
How
Thank you
good.
guys so much for listening to another episode of the Conscious Salon podcast.
Love you guys. Stay conscious.